Hello, welcome to the Rooms with Ronald podcast, brought to you by the Multifamily Media Network. I'm your host, Ronald Harrington. In 2023, I set an intention to shop 100 apartment communities to see how leasing was evolving around the country. Rooms with Ronald was born out of that experience. In this series, I share my experiences and engage in meaningful conversations with other professionals in the industry as we discuss all things related to leasing and marketing. Join in as we expand the Rooms with Ronald experiment.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rooms with Ronald. I'm your host, Ronald Harrington, and in this special edition of Rooms with Ronald, we are coming to you live from Podcast Palooza in fabulous Las Vegas. I am joined by my friend, the amazing Kristi Ficker, who is the SVP of Growth and Marketing for Curie. Kristi, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Ronald, for having me. This is an amazing, incredible setting, and I'm so excited to chat with you today.
And you've made some changes since we've last spoke. You're my second guest to come back on to Rooms with Ronald. So now you're the SVP of Growth and Marketing for Curie. So that's exciting.
That is exciting. And this is a new brand that we're launching in multifamily. So I'm happy to tell you all about it today, but I'll always talk video too.
Yeah.
Should we dive in?
Yeah. Before we start talking about what you're doing now, let's just talk about video, because video marketing has exploded across other industries. Let's be real, right? And everything in multifamily is slow to adopt. So why do you think that is, especially when it comes to live streaming and TV?
Okay, so live streaming TV. This is funny. That is essentially a commercial. I remember when I started in this industry 27 years ago. She
does not look a day.
I mean, I would watch, but I was an aspiring marketer, and I so badly wondered why. Gosh, what if I could advertise my properties on the radio or on TV? And I did run a radio spot at one point in time, but I had to take the ad budget of 12 different properties and pull that together to run a week's worth of radio spots on the radio, right? And even then try to track that and try to show attribution. So if we think we have trouble with attribution models today, this was definitely an obstacle back then. But media buys, so radio was maybe doable if we pulled all of our money together, but TV was out of the question. I mean, when I think of commercials on television, I think of the Super Bowl ads. I think of Budweiser. I think of Doritos. I think of Coca-Cola and all of these big brands. But what's happened with streaming TV, or what some people call CTV, connected TV, is there are a lot more platforms available. So there are a lot more media buys available, and that's brought the price down and it's made it more affordable. So now, believe it or not, streaming TV is very affordable. It's a very viable option in multifamily. And yet only about 20% of our industry is doing it. So I think it's a huge missed opportunity, but I think that's why we haven't done it in the past, because we didn't have the budgets for it. And I think a lot of people now, we don't know that it's so inexpensive and so readily available to us.
Yeah. I think about my very first property in just 2014. We were going through a rebrand, and there was this giant billboard off of US 50 in Sacramento. And I remember thinking like, ooh, let's throw up there because it's right by Sac State and all that. And I got the price for it. I was like, you're joking, right? And they're like, no, that's it. And then so we were like, oh, well, we're going to do a hard launch and rebrand, cut the ribbon, do the whole thing. So let's have the DJ come out. And even then it was still so much money to do it. And we weren't even thinking about even video. I was doing video short form just for like content. I remember I was like, oh, we have this brand new swimming pool. And how fun would it be to jump into the swimming pool, like be the first people in the middle of February in Sacramento. And I was interviewing a leasing agent, and I said, I'll give you the job if you jump into the pool with us and we can put it on social media. And
to get the video,
right? Because that sells, right? And I remember it, I was like, but it has to be at the end of the day. And she's like, well, I get to go change my clothes. And I was like, no, you got to jump in. She's like, no, like I'm going to change my clothes. So like, I literally jumped into the pool, into this. And that got so many lights, and but it showed me how hungry she was. And to this day, she actually is now the manager of that property 11 years later. So she stayed in because she saw that value, and she does a lot of those videos as well.
Well, and what I think too with something like regular commercials on regular network TV, like what I wanted to do back in the day because streaming TV didn't exist.
Yeah.
With those kinds of commercials, you're showing your ad to a very broad audience. Think about that. I mean, you can choose what time of day you're showing the ad. You can choose if it's prime time, if it's during daytime soap operas, depending on who you're trying to target. But the beautiful thing about something like streaming TV is you can be very targeted with it. And so you can specifically target renters. If you're pairing it with something like a geofencing campaign, which a lot of people are doing, you can target specific buildings. So you could essentially run an ad for your community that's targeting your competitor's entire building. And so every renter in that building is seeing an ad for your community on their televisions. And if you aren't doing this, you should be concerned because your competitors might be doing this and showing their commercials to your renters.
It is the new like direct mailer to properties, right? This is like
yes, that's a great way to, but it's much more trackable.
Right.
There are better metrics to it. And again, you can be very targeted and granular with that messaging. And the other thing that's really cool about it is if you think about in this industry, traditionally, we have not started marketing to prospects until they open that Google search bar, until they type in apartments in Cincinnati or apartments in Las Vegas. That's when we show them our Google ads. That's when we try to drive them to our website. Streaming TV is, in video in general, is brand awareness. That's a brand awareness play. It's very top of funnel, but you're getting to them before they've opened that Google search bar. So now you're not waiting for them to open that, but now your brand is top of mind and top of consideration. So then when they do open that search bar, they might start doing a more direct search for you instead of that more broad keyword kind of search.
And then, we talk a lot about video, and I think we need to switch the gears a little bit, and let's talk about sequential video, right? Because while that's important, no one's doing it, right? It's there's not a plan.
Anyone doing this. There may be someone out there, but I have not seen it. And I feel like I'm pretty connected in the video space. Sequential video messaging. Think about an email, what I call a drip campaign, and B2B companies do this all the time. So if you're probably getting these in your email inboxes from a variety of brands right now today, cosmetics companies, travel companies, anything that you're shopping for, they're going to send you message one. And it's going to be about something very specific. And then the next message you get is going to be another message, but it's a story that they're telling. And so it happens very sequentially in a very specific order to tell their brand story or to get you to drive a dagger into the pain points that you're having and why you might need their product or service. That is really what we should be doing in multifamily. We should have this sequential messages, and our videos should be incrementally telling our story. So if you think about a prospect, we just talked about this at the AIM conference. There was a stat. I can't remember if it was from RealPage or Google had a speaker there too. I can't remember who it was from, but renters right now on average start looking at about 4 months out. So if they start looking at 4 months out, and then think about that, like that's a long time for them. They're doing a lot of research. They're coming back and looking at your properties, but if your messaging isn't evolving over that period of time and you're just constantly talking about, we have great 2 bedrooms or we have a luxury amenity area, we have this resort style pool, all of these buzzwords that we overuse in the industry, that's all they're hearing. So 2 things happen. 1, you're not doing a very good job of telling your brand story, but 2, ad fatigue sets in at about the 30-day mark. And if you're not changing up that creative consistently, they're tuning out. They're seeing those ads. Again, it could be on an ILS, it could be on Google, it could be on YouTube, it could be on your website, it could be on mobile display ads, but they're going to start tuning out if you're not changing that. So sequential messaging is a more creative way to just incrementally tell that brand story and keep them in your funnel so that they don't go to a competitor.
I tend to tune out as I shop all these properties, the messaging in the emails is always the same. And I can't tell you how many times I get the same email,
stand out
3 or 4 days apart, right? And I'm like, you just sent this 3 or 4 days
ago. It's the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
So instead, think about your point A, like what's the very first thing you want a prospect to learn about you? And then think about if you go a little deeper and as they are researching and they're getting further down the funnel, what do you want them to know about then? What's important to them? Think about when they're very first just trying to find a place, but then the next thing they do is start looking at ratings and reviews. So maybe you should start talking about you have the fastest response time for work orders than your competitors, or your reviews are the highest of the 5 comps in a 2-block radius or something along those lines.
So how do we shift from this one and done messaging, which is what people are having, to kind of tell that arc of the story?
I think you have to lay that out on a storyboard, or what I like to call a 12-month video strategy, thinking about it 12 months at a time, because I'm guilty of this as a marketer too. I've fallen into this trap of creating video content on a very, what I like to call an ad hoc basis. We react and we'll say, oh my goodness, we are forecast to be sitting on a lot of 1-bedrooms. I need to create a 1-bedroom video this week. I need the team to get this 1-bedroom video. I need to get it on TikTok. I need to get it on YouTube. We need to get it on the website. But that's so reactive. And again, that's not telling the whole story. And you're not thinking holistically about your overarching video strategy for 12 months at a time. So start, at the end of a year, you can start right now. If you haven't done this, you can start right now and map it out for the rest of the year. But think about, what do you need right now? We're going into busy leasing season for a lot of people. So what do the next couple of months look like? What does your forecast look like? What do prospects feel like? What are they looking for specifically? What happens in the fall of every year? What happens at the holidays when it's harder to fill units? And start mapping out what you need. And you're creating that. You don't have to create it tomorrow, but now you've got it on your roadmap. And that's how you get out of that reactive methodology.
Yeah. I often think about when I'm writing trainings, and especially leasing, one of the toys is for me right now is we need to treat leasing like a storyboard, right? And so when you're making a movie, I have that theater background, is every scene in a movie is put on a storyboard.
And you have a script.
Yeah.
And hello, we have AI that can help with this.
Yeah.
I literally use ChatGPT to help write scripts. Y'all see videos that I even personally put out on LinkedIn and things. I use ChatGPT to help me. Now, I massage that messaging so that's mine, but it definitely helps me write a script. And if I want it to be a 30-second video versus a 2-minute video, it will help you be a more concise speaker. There's no reason why we can't use that for our properties.
Yeah. And I'm sure you hear this a lot, right? And I hear this a lot. It's Ronald, I just don't have the bandwidth to do all this stuff. You want me to do, video follow-ups, and you want me to do video here, and you want me to personalize this message. So when you hear that, what's your advice? What is one thing that a marketer can do to kind of make the biggest impact?
I want you to create one video that you can use in as many places as possible. So identify the pain point or the one thing that you want people to know about the most. And that's what I want you to create first. If you have no video content, even if you have existing video content, if you create just one video tomorrow, let's say a 30-second video, there are a minimum of, off the top of my head, I can name off 10 to 20 different places that you could use that video to level up everything you're already doing. It can go on your ILSs. It can go on YouTube. It can go on Meta, so Facebook, Instagram. You can use it in your PPC ads. You can use it in your PMAX campaigns. There are so many places you can use that, and video will outperform everything else. The other really cool thing is video is more than 3 times likely to be cited in AI summaries that are showing up on Google, for example, right now today. So that one video is going to help you show up in those AI summaries if you're really working at that from an SEO perspective. So that's what I would say, is find one thing that you need people to know about your property, your brand, your company, and create that one. And then you start chipping away at it. But create the content that you can distribute everywhere, because that is also the secret sauce to these LLMs and where we're going with the age of AI right now.
Yeah. Which going at a rapid pace, right? And so I want you to pull your crystal ball out, because I know you make these bold predictions. And let's look 12 months ahead. How do you see video evolving in multifamily, and what should smart marketers be doing now to stay ahead of that?
One, use AI. I have demoed this in so many sessions the last few months. AI is not perfect, but it will definitely help you get. So again, it might be creating a script. It might be helping you know what to shoot. It might be helping edit one of the videos that you already have and making it better. There is no reason why we can't use that as a shortcut. Now, again, you have to massage it. You have to give really good prompts, but I think that we are going to be able to create at scale a lot more quickly using AI.
Yeah. And for me, I think too, is there's always this hesitation, the video has to be professional, right? It needs to be edited and all that. And I'm to me, the video that resonates with me is that personalized, raw, authentic, some tweaks could be done editing, but we're not on a movie set. So I'm not expecting it. Right now, I'm tempted right now to pull out my phone and just make a quick video of us recording this podcast, right? For practice. And my favorite saying is practice makes confident. So, that one video that you said, is going to give you the courage to kind of go back and be like, oh, I can do this here. Especially when I start to see the results and the data from that.
Yes, it will always perform better. And I think that this is also where video is going to go is those of us, not me, but there are definitely people who resist it. They're not comfortable with it. They don't want to be on camera. That's not going to be it's not going to be optional anymore because of where AI is going to. So talk about the generative search, talk about the ChatGPT and things like that becoming a search engine. You are going to have video and a lot of it to keep up with your properties. So we're going to be forced to do it whether we like it or not.
Yeah. So let's say.
So I just like to be on the front side of this thing.
You're always ahead of it. So, let's end the conversation with just a 30-second, tell me what Curie does. Like what is it that we're doing?
Curie, well, it's a new brand. Yep. So excited about this. I get to represent the coolest things. It's obviously video, but we help marketers do two things really well. So the first thing is always fresh creative, and that is creating video content for you. We have video subscription plans where we create, now this is very top of funnel content. So brand awareness campaigns. These are going to be your polished videos. You can have authentic videos as well, but this is going to be polished, top of funnel content, and you're getting new fresh content every single month because marketers, most of them know they need more video, but they struggle to create it. We don't have the bandwidth, we don't have the people, and we don't have the budget typically. So it's incredibly affordable. The second piece of that is streaming TV. So we can take those same videos that we're creating for you and we can run your commercials on Hulu, Paramount, Disney, wherever your renters are watching. The coolest thing about that is when a renter is watching your streaming TV ad, they don't even have their Google search bar open anymore. They're home. They might have been searching for an apartment earlier in the day. Like you toured apartments yesterday. Yeah. But now tonight you're home, you're on your couch, you're chilling, you've got your dog, you've got your blanket, you got your popcorn, you're watching your favorite show. And now this commercial comes on for your community. It's unskippable. There's no one else competing with that. They're not scrolling in ILS and seeing your competitors. They're not on Google being infiltrated with other ads or seeing other communities that are possibilities. They're only seeing your brand. So it's a very quiet marketplace for your renter, for your prospect.
Yeah, it takes away all the noise, right? And I think like that's so important this day and age, right? So
and the easiest thing you can do with it is there's something called ReTV, and it's just like how we have for years been remarketing. We will retarget people who visited our website with ads on something like Facebook, for example. You can do the same thing with streaming TV ads. So if you don't want to start at the very top of the funnel, you can run some middle of the funnel advertising and just retarget the people who are already your warm leads. But again, stay top of mind with them and have your commercial show to all of those people. And it's really affordable.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. We could talk about this forever. So, I definitely want to deep dive into TV and streaming later on in a later episode. But Kristi, thank you so much for joining us here at Podcast Palooza and talking about your favorite
Prohibition Bar. This is the coolest thing. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You've been listening to Rooms with Ronald. I'm your host, Ronald Harrington, and today I've been joined by Kristi Fickert, who is the Senior Vice President of Growth and Marketing for Curie. Until next time, guys, happy leasing.
Thank you for tuning in today. I hope I left you with some fresh ideas or a new perspective. Leasing and marketing are evolving rapidly, and Rooms with Ronald is committed to offering a place to hear about those changes. We also celebrate and acknowledge the fundamentals of exceptional service that will never go out of style. So, if you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, or subscribe. Visit multifamilymedianetwork.com to learn more about our other exceptional industry podcasts, call pieces, and sponsorship opportunities.